G'day, everybody. Alibar Jones here. Welcome back to the show. The Earthguard team has performed yet another major success and yet another service to all of humanity. And this time, in the form, we went after birth certificates. Now, for those of you who are not up to date at what birth certificates are actually a registration paper where you sign yourself into the matrix. The matrix run by, well, our favorite people, you know, the guys we're always chasing around. But that document says that they own you. And possession being 9/10 of the law, that's what gave them the right to siphon from their property, from their assets. You may also be aware that the financial system is based on birth certificates, because when a nation borrows money from the central bank asks for them to put up collateral. Guess what that collateral is? It's us. We have the assets to make sure we can pay back that money, and that asset is us. We're the object that they're using as collateral. We've been commodified. And, well, today we went after the birth certificate. And it was a surprisingly straightforward process. Like when we got Gaia and the Sun on one side of the courtroom to ask these demons about the birth certificate, and a lot of different names showed up. It was a cast of who's left for demonkind. They all showed up to defend the birth certificate because it seems to be a fundamental document, a fundamental procedure in the way that they handle Earth. Now, our first legal avenue was that we want to close this contract. And the demon says, well, you went into it a free choice. And we go, kinda. And then we said, you can legally choose to unchoose to be engaged in this contract. And they didn't really have a response to that. But by doing that, by setting it, by saying we can unchoose this contract, it validated the whole basis of the contract. And then you had to get each individual to choose to not be part of it, which was not going to meet all of our objectives, that procedure. So we changed tack, and then we started to question the birth certificate itself. And the birth certificate that you get is 1 page or 2 pages, but there are reams and reams of secondary contracts based on that. Well, if we own them, we can do this, we can do that, we can do this, we can do that. And they wrote themselves volumes and volumes of nonsense about how they can do whatever they want with the humans once they own them. Well, you know what we're like. We don't like that kind of talk. So we invalidated the ownership of a human being based on the contradiction of the premise of free will. You know, this is a free will zone. You can't undermine free will. So therefore, this contract is invalid. And my God, what a long and ugly and loud procedure that was to invalidate that. There's so much whining and complaining from demonkind about that. And I think, like, the pen is mightier than the sword. Like, when we go through their legal avenues, turns out we're far more effective than using military, which, let me just say, it's a lot less fun, but it's worth the results, because they're not, we we think their existence is conditional on our acceptance of it. They don't actually exist, or they don't. Anyway, it's a weird situation that we still haven't fully fleshed out, but everything they do depends so critically on contract, and so getting rid of this base fundamental contract changes the game a lot, because the foundations of the financial system are rocked, and the basis of the rulership or government, the legal foundations of government are also undermined. And so with this, everybody is apparently free. Now, we don't think that they'll accept that. I think they're going to continue as though nothing has changed. But this is a call out to all of the free man legal groups to throw your worst paperwork at them, to push the wildest stuff you have, because if you've been in strawman law or freedom law, then you would have seen that there's this parallel between spiritual and legal. They are two sides of the same train track. They go to the same place, and we just pulled one of them apart. So please get in there and hit them hard, is what I want to say. It did change. A lot of demons died. We think a lot more are going to starve without this, because they're not allowed to manipulate their possessions. And don't forget that possession is 9/10 of the law. Also, a lot of off-world stuff happened where the administration of Earth is no longer valid without this. So some of those ships and a lot of Earth grids based on the ownership paradigm also came down. There was a lot of interesting stuff about Semiramis and the Sumerians, if you're familiar with those stories. The Statue of Liberty is a statue of Semiramis, and Semiramis was a slaver queen who enslaved all of her people and whoever else she could get her hands on. And also, she began the process that evolved into the birth certificate. And she gave herself completely and utterly to the black stone, to Satan. And, you know, not all, but a lot of black magical procedure is learned through Sumeria. Sumeria built it up as a technology. And Babylon did a good job too, but they fixed Babylon for good, because there's no place on the earth for black magic unless you're Sumerian. And anyway, that tradition lives on. But I think we really rocked the foundations of the administration of Earth, or the procedures through which demonkind and their ilk run the planet. So great victory once again. Let's hope that that we take one more block out of the Jenga tower that is the ownership of Earth, and keep pushing it until it falls. Yeah, look, my love to you all. Stay well. You really want to check out our membership site called theearthguard.org. You know, this is the stuff on there. Is a lot of the stuff that we don't publish here on YouTube. Not least of which is the interviews we've done with the galactic overlord who's trying to consume Earth. Fascinating stuff. Anyway, my love to you all. Like and subscribe to the channel, and may the force be with you. Bye for now.